Hello, Lee County. Thank you for joining us for this edition of County Connect, a weekly insight with your county commissioners. Today we have Commissioner Jonathan Sena, who represents District 4. I'm Sandra Brito with Community Engagement, and also Christina Wilhart, our Community Engagement Specialist. So, Jonathan, what do you got for us today?
Well, first of all, Christina and Sandy, thank you for all you do. You both are so much fun, and you make the work at the county just so pleasant. We were talking about this before we went on the air a while ago, and we were making coffee here. We're here in Hobbs in my district, and you work so hard, but you make it so fun and such a fun atmosphere at the county. And I'm just so grateful for both of y'all. Y'all just make it. You make it great. You make it great. And as everybody may know, I'm terming out in December, which I'm sad about that.
We're sad.
I'm going to miss y'all so much, but we've gotten so much done the last 8 years. And I got to say, I think working for the county, the first term and the second term, we got some great things done all along the way, but it's kind of like that old metaphor. It's a true metaphor about watering bamboo. You ever heard about that? It's like you water bamboo forever, for years, and nothing happens. Or you see, it doesn't seem like big things are happening, and then all of a sudden, bamboo is just shooting and growing feet and just growing so tall. And I think with the county, we work hard and worked on things for years, and then it seems like some of the biggest things we've ever been a part of have happened even in the last couple of years. So, along the way, when I got on with the county commission, there were 3 big things I wanted to work on, and I wanted to focus on, among others. It was roads, and it was making safe neighborhoods, or making the neighborhoods safer, and then working to diversify our economy to make sure we have more jobs for our young people coming up. And of course, we also have Victoria here today, one of our interns at the county, and we want to create an atmosphere, a climate where businesses can thrive, where they can produce, where business owners can take care of their families, but where they can provide jobs for young people in our community. So, a lot of things we've done. Roads, as some people may know, we have over 1,200 miles of roads. Over 1,200 miles of roads outside of city limits that we maintain and run. So if we got on our phones right now and we mapped a road just map it all the way to Chicago, we would have, that's how much road that we maintain throughout the county, it's an amazing thing. It's a lot though. And so what we've done in the last several years, we're not only doing that, but we're also working with the private citizens to gain right-of-way so that we can get roads and bring them up to a high level where they're taken care of, where they're asphalted. And we've been doing this for several years, which is a big deal. It costs a lot of money. It's a lot of work, but we're doing some good things there. We've worked with Sheriff Hilton, got a lot more deputies out there. It's great to have the Corps. I'm a Hobson. When I was a city commissioner, Sandy, we worked for years to get the Corps. I love stuff like that. People love it. We need more things like that. We need more places like what the Cassis have. The place where they have you can jump with the kids, space jump. We need more of that. But you gotta be safe.
Yes.
You can have great parks, right? But if you don't feel safe, what good are they? So we've had to get more deputies. We're investing in training, and then jobs, diversifying the economy. So there's some good things happening there with that, and there's been a lot of great things happening. And even diversifying the economy, we're supporting oil and gas. We're the #1 oil producer in America, which is awesome.
Yes.
Great things are happening with oil and gas, but we want to diversify the economy. Things that with Urenco, we're one of the biggest producers probably in the world, but Urenco is responsible, to my understanding, about half of all the uranium enrichment needs for our country. So that's clean energy. It works. You don't have to worry about emissions. We've got to continue to support oil and gas, but I think we can diversify our economy and we can work on other forms of energy, including nuclear, and it can be done safely. It can be done well. So I think those are some good things. So those are some really fun things. And then
one thing I was going to bring up is that since you got on the county commission and I would sit up there and see you every time we would do a budget, you would always mention the Lee County Event Center.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like one of the things that you wanted to see.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful for you guys and the team out there. And then, of course, Mr. Kemp, he runs the event center now. And for many years, I think the event center's been great. It's been very functional in many ways. But people had concerns. They said, man, we have the core. The core is really beautiful. It's updated. There's a lot of thought. And we've been very intentional about what we've done there. The hospital across the street, there's a lot of development happening. Even, you even have the, just different things around there, the junior college. And what we had to do, we came to a place with the county, because not everybody's from Hobbs, right? I'm Hobbs. I'm from Hobbs. I love Hobbs. I'm the Hobbs boy. I was the city commissioner there for years. But we came to a place, and I like what Dean Jackson said, Sandy. Because Dean Jackson, Dean, if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Dean always brings it very clear for all of us. He said, look, we either need to sell that thing off, or we need to fix it and make it nice for future generations. And I'm so grateful, Christina, I'm so grateful that the commission said, let's fix it and let's make it better. So we have been working with DPS, what is it?
Decker, Perrick, and Sabatini.
I always mispronounce that. Decker, Perrick, and Sabatini. DPS. And they're this great group. They've been a part of a lot of projects in schools, and even they were part of the core. But they're helping us with the design work, and it is incredible. $58 million is going into that renovations. I mean, we're going to be doing things with sound. That's going to be better. Jim Kemp is working on that. We're always working with the concert folks that come in. They want to have their own sound. But the development of that place, this place is going to be a jewel for all of Lea County. The way the design's set up, it's like oil related. Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's going to be beautiful. And as a matter of fact, I've already booked my daughter's quinceañera there.
Have you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. See, it's going to be awesome. And there's going to be a place like an amphitheater, a place for trucks. There's going to be this massive screen on the side of the building that you might see in Vegas or New York City that is going to attract people from the highway. It's going to be a fun place where people can just go for walks and just spend time. It's going to be a great place. And I'm so grateful because as county commissioners, we work on things in our districts. We work on the fair and rodeo. We've invested a fortune out there, and I'm glad we've done that. But to have something in Hobbs, in my neck of the woods, in my community that's a part of Lea County, it makes me so proud. And I'm so excited for the concerts that are going to be coming in. I don't know what's going to be coming in, but hey, we've had some great concerts.
We have.
And even at the fair and rodeo, for the longest time, I tried to get Toby Mack out there. Hey, true story. True story.
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully Gary Eatson is not watching this. If you're watching, that's our chair. But okay, true story. Toby Mack came to me. And some of you may know I'm an associate pastor. My function is a youth pastor also. That's my day job. And so I love Toby Mack. Well, he came to Lovington, and I took some students. I asked Christy Jackson, I said, could I go shake his hand? She said, yeah, we'll work it out. You can go before the concert. Well, I went to the trailer where Toby Mack was, walked in there, and you're going to have to take my word for it because we didn't have it recorded. I just have a picture of it. But I walked in there, and I mentioned one of his songs, and obviously he's R&B. He sings and raps and stuff. And he was from the Jesus Is Just All Right song back in like 1991.
T-Mac.
And he did Jesus Just All Right. Well, in this song, there's a rap that does. And I walked in there and my thought was, how can I get Toby Mack to talk to me for more than just a minute? So I walk in and I said this, and this is ridiculous. I'm blushing as I'm talking about this. But I said, hey, Brother T. I said, Brother Toby, man, I was about to rap that line on Jesus Is Just All Right. And he looked at me just serious. He looked at me right in the eyes and he looked at me and he goes, I'm down with the one that is known as the Son. And he says, he does the whole thing. And we started going back and forth. And we did the whole rap together in the trailer in front of 4 or 5 of my students. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. It was so much fun, but it was a lot of fun. And that was one of those fun moments. And I think that county has been so great about creating moments for people. You ladies and your team are so good about that. The Christmas events, the holiday events, Easter and things you do throughout the county, the things you do for employees, the things we're doing now with the event center, we're creating memories and we're creating spaces where people can build memories and deepen their roots in Lea County. And even as you talked about, Sandy, like you're going to have your quinceañera out there, which is going to happen when?
Was it 2027?
Dang.
Yeah, I have it. Yes, I have it on my little window.
Oh, don't tell me. See, yeah, that's amazing. So, what's awesome about it? What a fun place and a fun opportunity to create a space and to be in a space where you can have more memories. And we're doing that, and things like that are happening throughout Lea County, and I'm really proud of that. So thanks for bringing that up. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be really awesome. But
Excited. I'm not excited to see her keep growing up.
I know. My little girl is 5 years old now. Of course, I have a 1.5-year-old, and then we have a little boy on the way that'll be here in November. But yeah, I'm glad to see him grow up, but I get sad too. You know what? I didn't have any kids when I started on the county commission, but I do now, and I love it. And that's why I drink so much coffee. I need God's help, a lot of prayer, and a lot of coffee, ladies. So I'm grateful for that. But there's some cool things happening. And one of the things I wanted to bring up, because healthcare is a big deal.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
When County Manager Mike Gallagher came onto the scene, I told him, because I had just recently at that time moved over from West Texas to here. And
Where in West Texas?
Odessa.
Okay.
And my family's from Andrews.
Oh,
But
we got someone from Odessa to Lea County. More of y'all Texans need to move over. We got Sanders.
And so the thing that I was told when I got over here, there's no shopping, there's no health care, and no place to get your hair done. And y'all changed that.
You changed that a lot. Obviously, I need a lot of help with my hair, so y'all don't be judging me out there. But you're right. You're right. That's such a big deal. And people always say things like, "Well, let's go to Lubbock. Let's go to Midland to get your hair done, or go eat, or whatever." And I think somewhere along the way, and it started before I was here, people said, "Well, let's fix that. We're going to live here." People like Christina, people like Victoria, people like Sandy and Jonathan. We're going to stay here. We loved it. And so what we did was we said, well, how do we get a place like an organization like Covenant to come in and put a new hospital here with a new culture? We don't want a hospital that's just coming in and taking people's money and not investing back in healthcare and not bringing the kind of quality that people need. For so long, and yet we've all been guilty of this, all right? I'm not going to look you on the line, but we've all done it. Now, I did this too in the past. Years ago, if something happened or one of us got sick or, you really need to go to the hospital, we'd drive on Lovington Highway, drive right past the old Lee Regional and go to Lovington or go to Lubbock or whatever. And we said, well, what do we need to do to change that? And there's a lot of great people in our community. Josh Grassa, Rebecca Long, Mayor Cobb. A lot of people said, you know what, we got to do something about this. Even the Maddox Foundation. They said, what do we need to do? So I don't want to get in all the details, but basically Covenant came in and they have a great culture for healthcare. They're not perfect. Nobody is. The only one perfect was 2,000 years ago. Who died and came back to life again. Okay, we won't get in that. But here's what it is. They're a great organization with a great culture. They're not just about the bottom line dollars. Now, you got to make a profit so you keep things running, right? You got to be wise about that. But they have a culture for healthcare. So what we did from the county we said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to expand healthcare right out here on North El Paso, right on the border of my district and Gary Eatson's district. It's technically in his district, but Gary will give that to you. But we expanded it. We expanded the footprint there, and we added to the Norley Clinic, and it brought more doctors, more nurses, more primary healthcare providers, and it made a way for people to get good service here, and then they can go to our hospital if they need more care. And I'm grateful for that. That made a big difference for all of us.
And created jobs.
And it created jobs, and it helps the economy. And we don't want the big goal with that is to help people to expand healthcare is to make sure people are well, but it helps the economy. Every time people go to Lubbock, they're going to Chick-fil-A. I do it. I go to those coffee shops and things. And so if people stay here, they're getting better health care. They can spend more time with their families. And then they can spend their money here and help our economy so we can invest more in health care. And we need that. This is something happened, and it happened in 2020. I was knocking on doors. And I remember it was COVID time. So everybody's keeping distance. I knocked on the door. People were wearing masks and different things. But I kept my distance there to make sure everybody was comfortable. But I remember a lady told me, it was right across the street from what used to be the Fletcher Center. It's Head Start now. House down the street there. And a lady, she started telling me, she said, we need healthcare to get better in homes. she said, I struggle with so much pain. And we had talked about things, and tears just rolled down her cheeks. And as I told her about what we were doing with Covenant and the better healthcare we were bringing here, those tears that were so sad and showed so much brokenness from the pain, they began to be tears of joy because she had hope. And we started talking, and hey, I know this doesn't even sound politically correct, but we even prayed together. And I was so grateful that we can do things with the county, but things that actually come in and change people's lives, make a difference. People want to know that a government's working for them, not coming and making things harder for them. People need a lighter burden. They don't need a politician like me or someone else coming in and going, hey, guess what? Higher taxes or whatever. Let's come in and go, hey, you're paying enough taxes. Let's use what you're paying already, your hard-earned tax money, and let's reinvest in the community. Let's see if we can solve some problems. And we're seeing that with healthcare, and I'm so excited about that, Sandy. There's some good things happening. And in Covenant, they've been working on things. Rachel Slade and her team, doing some good things out there. No place is perfect, but we had our little boy out there, and it was a great experience. And we're going to have another little boy. And so I'm excited about that. And we don't have to drive 2 hours. You know? Chick-fil-A is nice, but I don't want to go to Chick-fil-A sometimes. I want to go to El Caballero. I want to go to El Palomar, La Fiesta. Let's do it. Let's do it here in the house. That's okay, you know? So there's some good things happening. Very good. So we also have, of course, in the last 2 years, I talked about growing bamboo, right?
Yes.
How some things don't seem like they're always happening as quick as we want to, right? People will ask and go, well, what's going on with the county? Well, when I got on with the county, we started working on the judicial complex, right? And that took a lot of time.
Yes.
And it took longer than it should have. We all know that. But I think what we saw is there's a problem with politics. There's a reason that people stop trusting government, or they stop trusting elected officials, or they stop trusting good people like y'all. And it's because I think so often they see politicians or they see elected officials kicking the can down. They do just good enough to get through this election, just good enough to get reelected. And they get problems and they don't take care of them. They send it down the road. And with our judicial complex, we wanted to make sure it was done, that it was done right. And so we worked hard, and oh my gosh, I lost so much sleep over that building. There was so much work, and we fixed it. We made sure it was right. And I'm not in that building. As a county commissioner, we're still in the historic courthouse. But we made sure it was right. We didn't kick the can down the road, and that was an attitude we wanted to take, even with water. We wanted to deal with water in a way that the ranchers, and I don't have a whole lot of ranchers, I have some in my district, most of my district's in the city of Hobbs. But we said, you know what, we're going to make it to where the ranchers feel like we're on their side. We're not trying, we wanted it. I remember at the time we were dealing with water rights and things, and people have been doing that for years in the county. We said, you know what, let's take care of our water, but let's let ranchers take care of their water. Because actually, they can do better with water than politicians can from the county. So when we did that, they were so happy. We went about it that way. And in the last 2 years, of course, last year we got $19 million, and we took it to the city of Hobbs. And what that was, it was tax dollars going back to them because they can spend it better than we can spend it because they're local, and local government can spend it better than Santa Fe or Washington. So $19 million so they could spend it on roads and police and all that. And the reason was because of the destination tax actually reduced the city's funding significantly. And hopefully the government will fix that. And then this year, housing incentives, $15 million with the city of Hobbs. We had $5 million went to Lovington, and they had other amounts that went to other cities. But we put money back into the cities so that we could get more housing. Sandy, I'm so grateful.
And we could get more people coming from West Texas over here because of the housing. When I came, there was nowhere.
We need more people from Odessa.
I was offered a job with the county and also with the regional hospital.
Wow. But
there was nowhere to live at the time. So they said, okay, well, we'll give you time, So my husband's like, well, if you find a job we find a home in Hobbs, then we'll take the job there. But if I went to Levington, we'll take the job with the county. Found a home, an apartment came open.
Wow.
In Levington, and that's how we got over here.
And look at that.
And now we got places, new homes built, new apartment complexes.
You're so right. What year was that? Okay.
We came over in 2005.
And it's crazy because you can get it right now. We could drive across town in hubs and apply at different places, and we could get enough work to work 24 hours a day for the next 3 years. There's work everywhere, but housing has been so difficult for so long.
Yes.
When I first started knocking on doors for the city commission back in 2008, I was running for office. People started telling me that. I didn't have that issue on the forefront of my mind. But when I was talking to people, they said, we need places to stay. So I started bringing it up, and they said, that's not your political party. Your party doesn't deal with that. And I was like, what are you talking about? This isn't a political issue. This is a human issue. Republicans need good roads. Democrats need good roads. Independents need good roads. Green Party, all these people need places to stay. We all have so much common ground. We think about so often in America and CNN and Fox News, we think left. Oh, no, that's far left. That's far right. And the thing is, we have so much more that brings us together. Everybody wants good health care. Everybody wants a better life for their kids than they have. Everybody wants to go to a park with their friends and family and be safe. Everybody wants a great job. People want to know they're safe and can get a good job and have a great life and that things will get better. We want to know that. And so when we start working on those things like housing incentives, we can actually make that possible. And so what we've seen is, even more recently, within the last year, we saw down the street. Now, I love my home. We have a great home. If you see any colors here that you like, that's because of my wife. I'm terrible with colors. But, it's a working class neighborhood, right? And we're proud of it, but it's working class neighborhood. A lot of folks in the oil field, all of us working class folks. But about a block from here, a house went on the market within the last 8 months. Nice house, but working class neighborhood. I was on Stephen Drive. They got about 12 offers, and the final offer was $15,000 or $20,000 over appraisal. So what that means is working class families in Hobbs, New Mexico, Lovington, Eunice, Jow, Tatum, they're having to get nickels and dimes, get it all together to pay above appraisal. And it's very difficult to get a home. So what we've done is, for our housing incentives, what we do is we get the money to the cities, and they make agreements with developers to build more houses so that it reduces the cost of doing business. So they can make a little more profit, and they can actually make more houses. So working class families, hopefully in time, are not having to pay over appraisal, and they can have a place to live and enjoy that life that Sandy Brito came all the way from Odessa, Texas to be a part of.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that. And ladies, I want to tell you I'm grateful. I know we've gone on a little bit, but I want to and we can talk about whatever else, but I want to say this one. We've worked on some really big things like what we just talked about. We've also, even with discretionary funds, if you drove down the street here, you'll see this beautiful playground equipment at Taylor Elementary School. If you drive about 7 blocks north of here, you'll see Coronado Elementary School. You'll see the playground equipment already going up. We're helping fund that, and I'm so proud of that. Even the Task Arena audio system, Commissioner Vincent and I went in together on that. The new literacy program in library at Mills, that's happening. But something also happened 7 years ago, and I was driving home from a commission meeting, and they're a little bit long sometimes.
Yes.
Just a little bit. And we were leaving the commission meeting, and Commissioner Pat Taylor from home, she said, would you come out to Everglades Cemetery? I said, yes. Went out there. Joe Cotton with NAACP was there. Clarence Benford, his local pastor. Different people were there. And we saw the old Everglades Cemetery. Some of you may not know about this, but it's just one of those, something that I'm proud of. I'm proud of what has happened to bring healing there. See, Everglades Cemetery was a segregated cemetery. And many, many years ago, this was a place of great shame. This was a place of sadness, a place where only African Americans could be buried there. So when I walked to this cemetery with Pat Taylor and Joe Cotton, it felt like I was walking on holy ground. And I don't know how else to describe it. It felt like a sacred place. And I felt tears, just warm tears filling my eyes and starting to go down my cheeks. And I walked around, and I said, well, there's a lot of space here. They said, no. This place is pretty much filled with people that have been buried here, but they didn't have enough money to have the headstones. And I looked around, and the headstones I did see, I saw World War II veterans. I saw Korean War veterans. I saw Vietnam veterans. I saw moms and dads and family members. And they told me about a gentleman who fought in the Spanish-American War.
Oh, wow.
He died in the 1950s. He was a Buffalo soldier, fought in the Spanish-American War. He even remembers seeing Teddy Roosevelt. His regiment fought near San Juan Hill in Cuba, near and on the same side, obviously, as the famous American president, Teddy Roosevelt. And he came back, and they told me something. I said, well, where's he buried? And they said the best information we had, and it was David Minton, the county historian. He said the best information we have from his sister is that he's buried somewhere over there by that fence. No headstone, just buried under the grass. And it broke my heart. And as we walked around, we began to talk, and they said, we're going to make a memorial for this American hero. And I said, well, what can we do? Because when you come into a situation like that, you feel so helpless.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? What if we could use some discretionary funds from my district, partner with the city, and make the fence nicer? And we started talking about it. We got so excited, some of the things they were doing and things David Sadler was doing. He was donating his time and donating some headstones and putting them out. David Minton was helping him get the information on the people. And so now, when you go out there, it's what once was a place of sadness and a place of shame. There's a story about a 6-month-old African-American girl many years ago who was buried in the regular cemetery. But once they found out about it, they said, no, she needs to be in the African-American cemetery. So they took her body out, put her in the African-American cemetery. Tragic. Such a sad thing. But a place that used to be a place of shame and embarrassment and sadness is now a place of healing and a place of honor. And I'm so proud that Lea County and the incredible people I work with, like you ladies and all the great commissioners some that I've mentioned, Pat Sims, Dean Jackson, Gary Eaton and others, Brad Weber, so many others. Great people are willing to work together on big projects, roads, the event center, working with the city to get more housing, but we're also working on those things that bring hope to people's lives. Things like Everglades Cemetery. And that makes me so excited for the future of Lea County.
Yes.
And it makes me so proud of the work we've done the last 8 years. And I'm grateful to you ladies because you helped make it possible. So thank you for that.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. We appreciate this update.
You're very welcome. So thanks for letting me hang out with you. We had some good coffee today. So so we made him some coffee, and I have something to finish in a little bit because I have kids and all the prayer and coffee. Yeah. So thanks again for letting me hang out with you. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. And we want to thank you, Lea County, for joining in with us, and tune in next week. Thank you.
Thank you.